Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kazzy, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you all of the books that I'm getting rid of. I know a lot of people call these videos an unhaul, but I really don't like that word for some reason. I'm just like, is it even a word? I don't know. I'm not about to look up a dictionary, but for me it just doesn't sound like a word that I want to use. And so that's why I'm just calling it books that I'm getting rid of. And so I thought I'd just sit down, do a quick video because I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a cold, so I don't know how long my voice is going to last. And that's why we're using the glasses today, because I couldn't have been bothered putting contact lenses in, to be perfectly honest. I'm getting rid of these today, so I thought I'll film this now and then we can go, because I need to use these doohickeys to drive. So enough of my rambling. So yeah, let's just get into the box of books that I have sitting right here. So the first book that I'm getting rid of is Everything by Nicola Yoon. This is like the mass paperback edition that came out with the movie. There's no real reason why I'm getting rid of this. Like, I enjoyed it. I pretty much just read this because Robert Lawrenson is in the movie as her teacher, and so that's pretty much just why I picked it up. It was cute, I liked it, enjoyed it, but I'm not going to read it again, and I don't really want it to take up much space on my bookshelves. Next is Post-Dramatic Theatre by Hans Stace Lehmann, translated by Karen Jers Munby. I had this for a module that I took at university, and I've been finished university for 7 years now, and you know, no point in keeping it. I'm not interested in post-traumatic theatre. I really didn't like that module all that much, so bye-bye. Next is the 20th Century Performance Reader, edited by Michael Huxley and Noel Witz, and this is the second edition. Again, this was for a module that I took at university. I'm not really interested in anymore. Like, I think there's like things that are useful in some respects, and in other regards not. I might just give this to one of my friends who might be interested in it, but no. I've got no place for it, so bye-bye. Next is Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. The only reason why I'm getting rid of this is because it's the mass paperback edition that came out with the movie. I have another edition as well. There's no point in having it, and that's kind of ironic because I have a video coming up soon about books that I have multiple copies of, and of course this isn't going to feature in it because this will be gone by the time I film that, so bye bye Percy and Sea of Monsters. Next is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I'm getting rid of it because I hated it. I actually hated this book. I hated the characters. The only one that I really liked was Draxon, and he was the villain. I hated the Daughter of the Pirate King, Alosa. Didn't like her at all. I thought she was going to be kick-ass, and I thought she would be like Merida meets Jack Sparrow. Nope. Another book that I got for university that I don't need anymore is Language and Power by Mary Talbot, Karen Atkinson, and David Atkinson. I bought this for one of my essays that I was writing on language and power. I did an essay on war discourses and its impact, with particular interest in science fiction television shows, with emphasis on Battlestar Galactica and Stargate SG-1. I think that was the essay title. I can't exactly remember. It was so long ago. But yeah, I did an essay on Battlestar Galactica and Stargate SG-1. I think I used this book for references. It's not all that highlighted. Oh, there's some highlights there. But yeah, don't need it anymore. On the Language and Power trip, I am getting rid of Language, Society and Power. This is the second edition, and it has a whole lot of names, and same thing, just university. And I don't even think that this was even useful because nothing is highlighted in it. That's what I hate about university, when you had to buy a book for a class and there was nothing useful in it. Next is Love, Tanya by Tanya Burr. I feel guilty for getting rid of this because when I bought it I absolutely adored Tanya Burr. I really had been looking forward to this book being released, but just not interested. Sorry Tanya, but yeah, well, the publishing company got my money anyway, so it doesn't really matter anymore. I'm also getting rid of Revenge Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. This is the sequel to The Devil Wears Prada. I never even read The Devil Wears Prada. I think I just saw this in Asda and just fancied it because, you know, I love The Devil Wears Prada movie, and I thought I might like this. I was going to keep it, but then I just realized I'm never actually going to read this. I don't have any kind of inkling towards it at all anymore, and so what's the point? These are two books that I got. One because Kate Mulgrew was in a film adaptation of it, and so I wanted to read it. Mary Higgins Clark, Pretend You Don't See Her, and Mary Higgins Clark, A Stranger is Watching, which is the one that Kate Mulgrew was in with Rip Torn. I read A Stranger is Watching and wasn't exactly what I was expecting from the screen caps that I had looked at for Kate Mulgrew's appearance. It wasn't really my cup of tea, and the fact that I was probably 14 when I was reading this probably was not good. And then I got this one because it was 3 for £5. I never even took the sticker off it, and I have no intention of reading this whatsoever, so it's gotta go. I might keep you. Meta words. This will keep you. Some more books from my drama course that I don't need anymore. I'm no interest in keeping or even reading again. First up is Applied Drama, The Gift of Theatre by Helen Nicholson. I can't even remember what this even was. It's a book of theatre and performance practices. I think this is basically, you know, like how you take something from the rehearsal room to the stage. I think. I don't know. I can't remember it at all. Then House of Games by Chris Johnston, Making Theatre from Everyday Life. I'm wondering if my old drama teacher at high school would be interested in these. I'll have to text her. And then Theory, Theatre and Introduction by Mark Fortier, whichever one. This is the second edition. Again, can't remember what this is. And then 20th Century Actor Training, edited by Alison Hodge. This pretty much takes you through the practitioners. Stella Adler, Bertolt Brecht, Peter Brook, Michael Chekhov, and Lee Strasberg, and of course the master Konstantin Stanislavski. As you can see, I had quite a lot of notes in this one. I don't know whether I can give it away because I have written all over it, but as I said just moments ago, I might just ask my drama teacher if she would like these. And I kind of want to keep it for sentimental reasons because Kate Mulgrew was trained by Stella Adler herself, so, and pretty much everything Kate Mulgrew related, you know, is my life. Okay, next up we have Rabbit Proof Fence by Doris Pinkleton. I think I read this forever and a day ago. I think I just picked it up one day when I was in a shop. It was made into a film that I never actually watched. I didn't understand a lot of this book, so I've no interest in reading it now. Even though it's probably it's only 100 odd pages, so I don't know. No, I'm not trying to talk myself into keeping any of these. I'm getting rid of them. No, Kazzy, no. Then I'm torn between getting rid of this, but it's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This was one that came with a newspaper for, again, forever and a day ago. The text is ridiculously tiny. I tried reading it, and I just had no interest in it. I've only read one Jane Austen book in my life, and I think it's in here. Stay tuned to see what other Jane Austen book is in the box of books that I'm getting rid of. I'm also getting rid of Clash of Kings by George R. Martin. I already have another copy of this, but when I first got this copy, I think I bought it off of Amazon because I was a cheap git back then. The text is biblical size. It's microscopic. I was not about to sit and read something that microscopic, and A Song of Ice and Fire isn't the most, light-hearted book to read, so I wasn't about to strain my eyeballs as well as my brain, so I got another copy of it, and so this is why this is gone. I have held on to this for years. I don't know why. Then I'm getting rid of After Earth, adapted by Peter David, based on the screenplay by Gary Whitta and M. Night Shyamalan, and story by Will Smith. Bought it in Asda, thought I might read it instead of watching the movie. Nope. And we're at the Jane Austen one, and that is Persuasion. I actually enjoyed this one. I did one of my final essays on it. I'm not going to be keeping it because there's other prettier versions of this. This is just the one that I had to get for school, and so I'm getting rid of it. Also, Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I watched the movie of it, read the book. The book was obviously vastly different from the movie, but I didn't really like it all that much. And I think I only got it for a couple of quid in bargain books, and so it is a gorgeous cover. I really enjoy this cover because it has like the foiled effect on it, but at the same time I'm just like, there's no point in me keeping it because I didn't really like it all that much, so bye. And then there was this book of an anthology of writing, which was published by Queen's University, and that my creative writing tutor gave me on the first day. But it's the hauling songs. Never read it, and I've had this book for. I got this book in second year, so 9 years. Never even cracked it open. No, so. Bye. Now, this book I bought because I thought it was a biography and it would like tell me all about this dude, because I was obsessed with Sanctuary. I'm kind of still obsessed with Sanctuary, even though I'm obsessed with the nostalgia of Sanctuary. But I bought this book because I loved this guy's character, who is based on a real person, and the guy that played him in a play. I just loved his take on him, and I just wanted to learn more about him. But that is My Inventions, by an autobiography of Nikola Tesla. If you don't know who Tesla is, he is a famous inventor. Never read it. When it arrived, I was like, this isn't what I expected it to be. I'm never going to read it, to be perfectly honest. And even though it's like ridiculously thin, and won't take up much room, I might need that room someday. I'm torn between getting rid of this, but it is Stones in His Pockets by Mary Jones. These are two plays, because it also features A Night in November. These are Northern Irish plays, written by Mary Jones, who is a Northern Irish playwright, and they are hilariously funny, but very honest, and really capture what it's like to live in Northern Ireland, and it has our colloquialisms all over the place, and it's just great. I'm not going to read it again, and I can't really remember anything about what happens in the plays, and so I'm just getting rid of it. Speaking of plays, I also have The Servant of Two Masters and other Italian classics. The Servant of Two Masters, it was written by Carlo Goldoni. The King's Stag by Carlo Gozzi. The Mandrake by Niccolo Machiavelli. And Rinzat Returns from the Wars by Angelo Biolco, I want to say. I read The Servant of Two Masters for a drama class, and I absolutely adored it. I found it so funny. I'm not going to keep it. I don't want to keep it. Even though I did love it, and I found it hilarious, I just don't want to keep it and have it taking up room on my shelves. And I can't even remember anything about this, but I also have the Royal Shakespeare Company's The Dog in the Manger by Lope de Vega, translated by Mark Johnston. I have no idea what this even was about. Did I even read this at all? The Dog in the Manger is a painful and hilarious comedy for anyone who's ever fallen in love with someone who shouldn't have. Nope. I bought this so long ago that the edges are just like disgusting, and I just hate the look of this book, so I'm getting rid of it. But this is the Wordsworth Classics version of Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I pretty much picked up Tolstoy because Kate Mulgrew talked about Leo Tolstoy and Dostoevsky and all that jazz. I think War and Peace is one of her favourite books. I picked this up when I was in high school, and it was never on any kind of reading list, and so I just kind of thought I would try to read it and, you know, get a bit more worldly and a bit more knowledgeable and have like another tick on the classics list, which shockingly, according to my best friend, is now at a nice large figure of 8. I know that's shocking, but when you don't take classes that have classics as part of the reading list, yeah, that's gonna put a whole a dampener on that plan. The only reason why I'm getting rid of this is because I want a prettier version than this. I like pretty books. Okay, next pile. I'm getting rid of Casino Royale by Ian Fleming. I got this after watching the Casino Royale featuring, of course, Daniel Craig and Eva Green, because I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to actually know what actually happened in the book instead of what happens in the movie, and of course it's completely different. Like Vesper has a different death, and she's a completely different protagonist in it, and so just mass paperback edition, and I'm just getting rid of it because I don't want to keep it. I'm getting rid of this book because I thought it was on one of my reading lists, but for university, but it actually wasn't. We never actually read this book, but Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. I've actually heard great things about this book. It's one of like the ones that you need to read before you die or something like that. I thought it was on my reading list for a class, and I've read the back of it, and I'm just like, I'm never going to read this. I know I'm not. This does not, like, intrigue me at all. It's not even captivating me at any moment. This has actually escaped a couple of my book purges, but for some reason I just keep it because I think, oh, well, someday I'm going to reread all the books that I read at university, and I'm just like, yeah, right. Like I'm going to do that, okay? So, no interest in it, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. And this is one that I was quite surprised that I'm getting rid of, but it's the Mammoth Book of Jack the Ripper, and this is like an anthology of theories and the chronology of it, and documents and bibliographies and stuff like that, and it talks about all the chief suspects in the Jack the Ripper case, and I have been obsessed with Jack the Ripper for like years, and Jack the Ripper features heavily in Sanctuary. If you've ever watched Sanctuary, you will know why. But I actually loved Jack the Ripper before he was featured in Sanctuary. Any kind of documentary where they took apart the murders and went through their own suspects, I loved watching those. And so then when Jack the Ripper was featured in Sanctuary, I wanted to learn a lot more. I actually have a different book which is actually up on my other shelf, which is full of DVDs. It pretty much has like the same thing. I read this once on holiday because, you know, light reading. It just wasn't what I was expecting. Pretty much is what it says on the tin. I'm getting rid of this because I have other books that I think are a bit better than this one. I'm getting rid of this purely because of the edition, and I kind of want a prettier one further down the line, and that is Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. I read this like 15 years ago, I want to say. I just don't like the cover of it, and so that's why I'm getting rid of it. Then we have a play called Cell by Paula Meehan. I got this at a bookstore in Belfast. Kind of just like Orange is the New Black, but set in Dublin. It's weird. We are all prisoners in one way or another. Prisoners of our families, our class, our own fears and dreams, our actions. 3 women of different ages from Dublin's inner city imprisoned for drug offences have made a world of sorts for themselves, one with its own desperate rules and conventions. The books just collapsed there. But their world within a world collapses. How ironic. Because the books just collapse. When an apparently naive countrywoman found guilty of murder is sent to share their cell. Kind of like Orange is the New Black, but Dublin style. I saw this book in Asda. It was on 2 for $7, so why not? And that was The Puritan Bride by Anne O'Brien, set in the time of King Charles, the Restoration Court of King Charles. And I'm not really into like historical romances, so I don't know why I bought it. Yeah, I'm never going to read this, so I'm getting rid of The Jungle Book and Kim by Rudyard Kipling. I've never read The Jungle Book. I've never read Kim. I bought them for cheap because I thought I might, you know, pick them up. I haven't. I have cracked the spine because back in the day I loved doing that to books. Pascaz, you're an idiot. It kind of made it look like I've read it, but I really didn't, so bye. Again, for 3 for 2, it was The Darling Strumpet by Gillian Bagwell. She had the world at her feet, but everything comes at a price. Again, no real interest in reading this at all. I probably had an interest in reading back then. Like, I went through so many like spurts of like reading obsessions. I just wanted to read and read and read. I bought this around the time that I got a Game of Thrones, and so I just wanted to read books, but no. And hey, this is actually blurb by Diana Gabaldon. Wow, her surname is a struggle. And then I'm getting rid of A Tiny Bit of Marvelous by Dawn French. I thought I wanted to read it because it has a cute little dog on the front. There's nothing to do with dogs, but I thought I was going to read it. I know I'm not going to read it anytime soon. As much as I adore Dawn French, I'm not going to be reading this. So it has to go. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. I promise. We're getting there. Okay, I have 4 more books that I got at university and I'm no longer keeping. The first one is The Adventures of Augie March by Saul Bellow. I actually didn't even read this for the class that I was taking it for. I didn't even read it. Everybody else read it. I didn't. I couldn't even get past the first chapter. And I thought, right, this again, like with the other book that I mentioned earlier, can't remember the name of it, but this survived a couple of book purges because I thought, right, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it at some freaking point. No. Even reading the back of it, I'm just like, no, I don't really give a damn. I don't really care. I really like this cover though. With that vein, I'm getting rid of Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. This was like highly recommended by my best friend and she read it for one of her classes. I started reading this. I actually started reading it twice and I got a bit further the second time, but I'm just like, no, this does not interest me at all. Then I'm getting rid of 2 Shakespeare plays, again because I don't like the editions that they're in. I adore Shakespeare. As You Like It and Measure for Measure are 2 of my favourites. I haven't read them all, but those are my favourites, and so I'm getting rid of As You Like It, which is the one that I used for my final essay, but I hate this edition. I got it like for like 1p on Amazon or something. I'm getting rid of A Midsummer Night's Dream, also by William Shakespeare. I need to reread A Midsummer Night's Dream again because I really liked Midsummer Night's Dream when I studied it at high school. So I have like a bit of a connection with Midsummer Night's Dream, which is why I kind of want like a better version of it instead of these 2 ones that are just kind of, you know, ugly. And I lied when I said I was finished with the books from university, but this is Postmodernism by Christopher Butler, a very short introduction. It really is, but it's gonna be a short buy. Okay, we're on the last 4 books. We're almost there. So thanks for hanging in, but here's the last 4. I'm getting rid of A Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I wanted to read this because Amelia Fox was in one of the adaptations of it with, I think, Colin Firth. He wasn't Dorian Gray, he was the other character, I can't think of his name right now, and she played his wife. I didn't like A Picture of Dorian Gray. I loved the idea of it, the whole concept of it. I really enjoyed that. I loved that part of it, but actually reading it, I really did not like it at all. I'm sure people might crucify me for that, but that's just my opinion, and so I'm just getting rid of it. And then I'm also getting rid of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I detested this book. I actually DNF'd it late last year. I desperately wanted to love this because I love Greek mythology. I love Greek history. I love the whole story of Achilles and Troy and everything else, but this book, I went into really wanting to love it. With Miller's writing, I felt like I was stumbling over her writing so much, if that makes sense. So I got to like page 70 maybe, and I was just like, I can't even stomach this anymore. I have to get rid of it. That's going, and I'm so happy that it's going because, like, I don't know why I hate it. Because everybody that I see on YouTube and Bookstagram have absolutely adored it, and I'm just like, seriously? I know that's their opinions and all, but like for me, I just absolutely despised it, so I can't wait to get rid of it. And the last 2 books are to do with King Arthur, and the first one is Lady of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. I haven't even read this one, but the text is minuscule. I got 3 Marion Zimmer Bradley books a lot of years ago, when I was obsessed with BBC's Merlin, which is now actually doing the rounds on Sci-Fi, which I am so happy about. So then I bought The Mists of Avalon along with The Forest House and The Lady of Avalon because Marion Zimmer Bradley wrote a lot of books about Arthurian England, and I just didn't read this one at all. I read the back of it like 5,000 times to try to figure out, do I want to read this? I just knew that I wasn't going to be reading this at all. I wasn't interested in this one anymore. I still love The Forest House and I still love The Mists of Avalon, but this one I'm just not interested in. And then the last book that I'm getting rid of, and it breaks my heart that I'm getting rid of this because I really wanted to love it, but then the ending just let me down. And that is The Wicked Day by Mary Stuart. This is another book set in Arthurian England, but it follows Morgause, his half-sister, and the son that they had together, Mordred. Now Mordred is put up with like a foster family, and Morgause keeps an eye on him until he's older and then decides, right, enough is enough. You're coming to me now. Then, like, all his other brothers find out about Mordred. I adored Morgause so much in the start of this book. She was just like deliciously evil and naughty and just manipulative, and I just like saw Amelia Fox as Morgause. She plays Morgause in BBC's Merlin, and I could just see Amelia Fox doing all of this and just being incredible in that role. But as always in Arthurian legends or Arthur related stories, Arthur always has to come and save the day, and Morgause always has to die. And I am not happy that my girl has to die over and over and over again in anything to do with Arthur. And I hated the ending of this book. It pretty much just like followed the whole ending of Mists of Avalon, but at the same time I was just like, why kill my girl, for Pete's sake? And I pretty much loved this up until about the last third, and I was just like, no. So I'm not going to read it again, because I'm not going to have my heart broken again by Morgause's death. And so I'm just going to have to say goodbye to it. And like, I really did enjoy it, but I'm not going to read it, and I don't want to take up space. So that's why I'm getting rid of it. Whew, those are all of the books, guys. Those are all of the books that I'm getting rid of. I know it's quite a lot. These are all of the books that I'm either going to be donating to a charity shop or, as I said, my drama teacher, whichever one. And so thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your opinion is on some of these books, whether you loved them or if you hated them. Let me know. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Like, oh my gosh, I have like so many new subscribers. It's unreal. I have like had 30, almost 40 new subscribers in the space of about 2 weeks. It's insane. Like, I am just like, what is going on? Like, I know, like, to like a lot of people, 30 subscribers isn't like a lot, but for me, in that amount of time, it's like incredible. I can't thank you guys enough for subscribing to my channel and for watching my random videos. And I'm so sorry that I'm like so sick when doing this video, but I just wanted to get it out and up, and so I can get these books out. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!